This is the answer. You can pass a null handle. Well, let's try that. So I need I need to know the maximum set index hint that is being used. I think a default descriptor set layout is already null. Standard null pointer. It's probably null, yeah, I think that's null. So they are already null, and then I'll write them. So if I have a larger one, I just have to resize it, and that's all. Hey, Boys Bunny. Yeah, I've been streaming, I don't know, an hour at least, without that the stream was working, because I had not turned it off. And I was not looking at the chat, I have to admit. I just started streaming and working. I didn't talk. But after an hour, I switched to YouTube page and look at the chat, and it wasn't streaming at all. Yeah. If set index is larger than the current size of let's say differently, and it's possible the set index is larger than I'm just going to go for this, which comes from, which was passed to, whatever. Undo, redo zit, Shift A. If not all added shader resources were used, are used in the shaders of the current pipeline. In that case, we must pass dus ik kan nu. You get pipeline layout, blah 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 blah. Well, I'll just copy it like this. Mustache me? Why would you want to know that? No, we don't assert anymore at the assert that I just deleted. Instead, we just core dump. Why? I'm using Linux. Okay, maybe a crash. Oh, what is this? PX graphics pipeline library is not enabled. Is that necessary? I don't think I want that either, actually. So it's not the solution then what I did. Oh man. Why would that not be possible? It said so there. Nothing. Six five six one 06561, which is no longer existing. Nope. KHR extensions. This is 1.3 extensions. Maybe I have to look at a different page. Seems very unlikely. Oh, it's new now. 1912. I was looking at an old spec. Nevertheless, of course it doesn't know this. It still doesn't work as usual. And I have the feeling that it still doesn't exist either. Oh, it does. Did I change this? No, here. Wait, if setLayout count is not 0, pSetLayouts must be a valid pointer to an array of setLayout count valid or VK null handle VK descriptor setLayout handles. But apparently that is only allowed. I don't know. I mean, what the hell? They added this, and we still have this. Now what the hell is this doing? Is it doing what I want? Probably not. This extension allows a separate compilation of 4 distinct parts of the graphics pipelines, with the intent of allowing faster pipeline loading for applications reusing the same shaders or state in multiple pipelines. Each part can be independently compiled into a graphics pipeline library, with the final link step required to create an executable pipeline that can be bound to a command buffer. Sounds like it's not exactly what the reason why I wanted to make it a null pointer. Fenty Hui Hurong 495 says, can you say 111 please? Because my English is not good. Well, I hope it helped. You're welcome. What the hell does this not work? Accelerator. Oh. You cannot find them back anymore? I never came to a conclusion, so I'm not sure if it was interesting enough to watch. Yeah, well, I can say 111, but I still have no idea why. I mean, I'm streaming here about coding is in the Vulkan engine in C++, and then someone wants me to pronounce a number because his English is bad. I mean, normally I'm a pretty nice guy, but this is really, yeah, bringing the sarcasm out of me. Starting to. Oh yeah, right. I was going to have a quick look at my YouTube channel. So you go to my thing here, and then you click on live, and then you click on well, these are all of them, I think. So this is the first one, second one, second and a half one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one, 9. I think that's it, and they're all here, all on a row. So I mean, just for you, I would say this works, right? So it's just live, in under live. I don't have hardly anything on the videos. I think only the last one might be interesting to still watch, if you watch the first two or something. And last one I did something semi-interesting, and I started to code from scratch again, accelerator. But don't tempt me. With a lot of effort, I stopped working on the college conjecture, and now you remind me again of it. Yeah, Post Bunny, can you deal with this fan? Because I have no patience for this. Man, I'm in a bad mood because it didn't work. Now what should I do? Apparently it is not possible to skip a set. Really? I guess I'll have to ask on Discord. What would be the best place to ask this? Shaders, yeah, not really. It's not really shaders. Question, is it? Beginners, well, yeah. If I still ask in beginners, then people are going to be mad, I think. So that leaves general. I'll just ask it in general and hope someone reads that. Basically, I'm saying there's really no way to hide this. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'll show you. I want to show this and just this. But if I now let go of my mouse, clop, it puts everything in. No, why? Maybe because it is full screen. Or not even that, I think. Yep. Ridiculous. Oh, that works. I am trying to make a pipeline, of course, with shaders that only use set is 0 and set is 2. Do I have a good example of a declaration for that? Because I forgot how that looks like, seriously. So I want this to work again, I have to edit and comment this one out, right? Or maybe I should have commented out the other one. Well, we see. We'll see. Probably. That didn't work. Well, it's layout. I'm just using this, I think. Thus, without using shit is one of this. But how to pass this to, and then I need the name of this thing that I was looking up. Okay. Well, I mean, of course, well, I just call it this, who cares? Is it called pset layouts? Yeah. The most stupid thing in the world. Paste where you have the mouse. Of course you want to paste with the cursors. I tried an array of size 3 with VK null pointer, was it? And just go down again, of course. VK null handle. Oh, there we go again. VK null handle at index 1 as per, I'll just copy the link, I guess, as per this one. Copy the link address, does that work? Push parameter. PK push constants. Wait. Push constants. That's not what I was talking about. I want to copy this one. Copy link. Set layout. Set layouts. Yeah. Delete. Yeah, but that gives me a validation error citing this one. Copy link address. Apparently it is not allowed to use VK null handle if you just want to skip a set. How can I do this, if at all? Da-dum, 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 da-dum. I think this is a good moment for me to make more hot chocolate, because I still have it from Christmas. Oh yeah. Yippee. I'll be right back. But I mean, there is 100% sure a guru that knows this from his head, but they are not like 24/7 looking at general. So there's always a chance that nobody answers. Our hero, Sasha Williams. There's an empty layout in that place. Let me see. I think that guy is like watching 24/7. Because he's mostly the one that answers. The water is boiling. Or chocolate. Create info. PFX, VK descriptor set layout. VK descriptor set layout. Objects, non-clickable, of course. Why? Control F. Nope. Meep. Nothing happens. Oh, there we are. Is this one clickable? Nope. This one? Nope. Next. Nothing is clickable. Unbelievable. Really. I want one that I can click on. Hello. Finally. Descriptor set layout, right? Descriptor set layout, yeah. Empty. Yeah. So, I don't know. Finding count. Yeah, always have to do a lot of trouble before you ask a question. Yeah, just set binding count to 0, I guess. Just set binding count to 0. Well, the answer is going to be yes, of course. Yes. Okay. I need. I'll put this back. I guess. Wait. Then I have to translate that to C++. He said yes. I type in thank you with a heart. Give this guy a heart. Right, in that case, apparently I'm using a next pointer here, but it doesn't really seem to be necessary. It's all the same line number, so. Create descriptor set layout. I'm not going to create multiple set layouts, empties, so you have to put it somewhere. It's hot chocolate, so then it's okay. Okay. Create a script layout. How shall I store it? Because it depends on what exactly I need to create it. I need M device. can just make one, make it a member of logical device, I suppose, and then initialize it the moment I initialize mDevice, as soon as I have mDevice. I can call this function. Set layout bindings and flags. Couldn't be small, of course. Oh, yeah, you should be in bed for 4:14 a.m. But this default construct is, then this thing is empty, and this thing is empty, and this thing is null, and this thing is 0. Which means that this is going to be empty, so it's going to use this, and then I just set this to 0 if I pass something empty. Ah, that is also empty. Empty, 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 everything empty gives us an empty set layout. Now do we set a debug name to it? Okay. So as soon as mDevice is available, I can create, I can call create descriptor set layout with an empty whatever this is. mDevice. mDevice is set here. Prepare. Okay, whatever. Let's set the debug name of the device also first. And let's set, let's do it kind of at the bottom of this thing. Because who knows what you all need. Create an empty VK descriptor set layout. Okay, where we pass an empty set layout bindings and flags. And the debug name is, let's see, an ambifix. I think I have this ambifix especially for logical devices. I should be able to see that the other place where this is called. Debug name prefix. Logical device debug name just takes a string, but I can also that's just puts this. Right. Now I have it, and then I need to still allocate that thing, of course. Unique descriptor set layout. Yeah, somewhere below mDevice, I think. That's called a lot. Let's go to the top. Here it is. I'm just putting it here, I think. Oh, not exactly below, but. And I forgot, of course, the type again. What was it? Unique VK. Unique descriptor set layout. It has called a color, so that is probably correct then. Initialized in prepare. Well, it is already in the name. So maybe I should describe what it is used for. Can be used, oops, to skip unused set numbers. Call it indices or indexes. Blah blah. And then I need to go back to the crash site. Huh? What? No, I edited the crash site out. As if I will ever find that back. Yeah, you know. Okay, just resizing is no longer correct. I really want to grow the thing and then fill it with. I don't think you can resize it and at the same time initialize it with something. Or can we? So this is just simply a standard vector, right? Let's look up standard vector. And we're talking about either that or push back multiple things. Count type until 0+11. So this one, since 0+20, count comma value type. That is exactly what I want. But 2 additional copies of value are appended. Okay, that's what I want, I think. It's exactly what I want. Well, this thing stores as if I know that. As if I know that. Sure, I edited it here somewhere. No, it's a different logical. Oh, what? Unbelievable. How many logical devices do I have? Here it is. So I have a unique descriptor set layout. And the thing is storing descriptor set layout. So I just have to get rid of the unique. As in dereference it. I think this should work then. No, it does not work. It does not work. Okay, smart people, think of it, think hard. Why does this not work? It's going to give me the same validation error. Whatever. Can't find it. So run in GDB. It's not the same validation error. But it could be just another error maybe, or not. I didn't change anything. So how, well, I changed something, but my point is it didn't work because in effect, it has no effect what I did. So I should get the same validation error. It's not replace and bottom 0. Yeah, that makes sense as well. I just don't understand why I didn't get that last time then. This must be 0. I mean, last time we did get a validation error, and then now it's gone. Why? Zarf, I'm using ergonomic keyboard. You know, one that is semi-split in two. Well, it's just under an angle. Seriously. Getting so tired of this. How can it now work? Okay, maybe I should have kept it at bottom 1. Probably. I want to see that validation error again. Unbelievable. Don't tell me that my last change caused this. Don't believe it. Unbelievable. Impossible. The only thing I did was add this, right? Okay, I'll tell now why I think it does not make any difference. The size here is 2. And it is index number 1 that we need to change. So this didn't do anything. I mean, it added, when this is 2, it resized it to the size of 3, making the third element that which is then immediately overridden. So it doesn't really matter if I add an initialization here or not. It was already 0. Index 1 was already null when I created the thing here. And I didn't change it. So nothing should have changed. And now I'm explaining that and still I'm commenting it out because I don't understand. Don't tell me now I get a validation error because really it cannot make any difference. Okay, at least now it doesn't make any difference. But still the validation error is mysteriously lost. Instead, now it cannot find bottom 1. Or it doesn't even try to find it. Let me highlight. It's definitely going to look for top. Just look for everything. Well, top. Top, 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 top. Top at the top. Not found, not found, not found. It's all nice and dandy, but oh yeah, looking for the top. Find it. Looking for bottom 0, not found. And now we want to see looking for bottom 1. It's not looking for bottom. I just not looking for bottom one. Did I remove an ad? I did remove the ad. Did I remove the ad? Yes, I did remove the ad. I cannot just now. I know I removed it, but I cannot remember anymore when. I removed it. Superman asks, do you consider yourself a 10x programmer? No idea what you mean. What does that mean? Okay, so now if I run it, and I'm going to run it in the debugger, that's still the easiest way to catch my validation errors. Yep. So then I can go here and add this again, and then finally my comment that it does not make a difference will be proven right. You know, I just want to be right. That's the only thing that this is about. Same error. Therefore, what we really need is also added here. Well, I don't know. I used to. I'm starting to doubt myself since I'm getting older, but I used to be way more productive, I think, than work faster anyway than most professional coders. But I also have the habit of being so perfectionistic that I work way longer on a program than most programmers. But well, when I was coding for a company as a C++ programmer, my boss, just before he gave me a big raise, wanted to know how it was possible that I was always so fast. I think I told the story already. So the project leader was frustrated because every time he asked me, when do you think you will be finished? I never said anything. I just said, I don't know. I had no idea. But then a week later, I was finished, which was then always before anyone else in the group. So, yeah. I guess I was fast. He asked me for the secret, actually, and I still remember what I answered. what I said was, I have in my head an overview of where we are currently with the code and where I want to go. And then all the different paths. So say from here you can do this or that or that. It's a branch, you know, it branches and branches many times more, and etc. etc. So there is a lot of things that you can do in the beginning, start work on. But in the end, everything comes together, of course, in the point where you want to go to, the working program. And each of these branches is weighted with a chance. So it's statistically chance. So how large is the chance that you will, not just need, but also will be able to write correctly the code of this branch, and then the same for all the other branches. And then I said, I just work non-stop on that what is most likely to be needed, which is usually debug code. So I begin with the debug code. So provision to be able to print debug code and to be able to print every object. As you can see me do, I can just do OS less than whatever my object is. And that's a lot of work, but once you have it, you can do that. So every object I wrote a function for, that so it can write itself to debug output. And then I also said that I believed that if you would say stop typing, you just sit down and you just think. You try to make the design in your head before you start typing. That is much slower, because it's not the typing itself that costs time. Most time goes into coding the wrong thing, or coding something that is buggy or incomplete, or structurally wrong, and then you have to start over, or you spend a lot of time debugging and fixing it and clutching it and patching it. So, and that's more likely to happen if you don't start to get experience. So I think what I do is just I figure out, that's probably what I need anyway, so I start coding that. And by the time that is finished, I have new experience, enough to make the next choice for the next piece of code that I can write. I don't know how he got it, but he was a very smart guy, so I think he might have picked something up from that. Segfold. I mean, much later. So this time, when I'm old, my memory got slowly worse and worse. I mean, it goes slowly. When you get older, your memory gets worse and worse. So in the beginning, I never had to comment anything. I didn't write any comments or documentation. I just knew my code. I was like, why would you write a comment? And okay, some people said, yeah, but you might go away and then someone else has to take over and they have to understand what you do then. That was the argument. But only after I started to forget things, I started to understand why documentation was important. So I started to document things more and more. At some point, my memory had become so bad that I switched to working on a piece of code until it is perfect, with the idea that I never ever have to look at it again. So absolutely bug free, absolutely maximum fast, cannot be any improvement. It's just finished. And then I never have to look at it again. But now I'm even more degraded. So now I wrote this code, and I'm writing something very difficult. And then I thought, especially in this case, I was writing the pipeline factories. And I thought that, I want to have multiple characteristics of a pipeline, which might or might not be a range. And a range being that you have an integer for loop simply running from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till some maximum value. And then some characteristic changes as a function of that. So then now I have a pipeline factory which has multiple, as it were, plugin characteristics which might or might not be a range. And I coded everything that has to do with that. So one factory runs over a dynamic number of for loops with a dynamic size, and then calling all the characteristic objects with new fill indexes, and then saying, okay, now I want you to do the thing you want to do, because the factory doesn't understand anything of that. It's completely characteristics objects that know what they want to do. So I say do 0, and then I say do 1, and say do 2. But it could be anything. I just didn't know. It's not the business of the pipeline factory to know this. The pipeline factory doesn't do anything than provide those fill numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as a Cartesian product, so I have two characteristic ranges. It multiplies. One runs from 0 to 5, and the other one runs from 0 to 3. Then we have 24 possibilities. So get 24 pipelines already. So could blow up pretty fast, but well. However, now the problem, I found this so difficult that I decided to implement everything except the ranges. So I wrote the pipelines, factories, and the characteristic stuff and the interfaces therefore, and I even wrote the code that runs over the ranges, so in a multi-loop, but I never tested it. And the reason I didn't do that is because I just felt not capable to do that at the same time. And now I have the following problem. The code that I wrote, that was so difficult that I could not simultaneously implement the ranges stuff, is not finished. It is not that I don't ever have to look at it again, because I never tested and never implemented and I never supported the actual ranges. And that's why I already lost 2 months of now. Because now I have to re-look at all this difficult code that I wrote in months, and then understand it again, and then make changes and add support for something that initially I thought was too complex. And just everything broke down. So it's just really huge waste of time. I think I would have been faster in the end if I would have just from the very beginning insisted on testing everything, including the ranges, and not postponed it. So yeah, this whole mess, it's just not implemented, not tested ranges, characteristic ranges. Why do I have a segfault? Wait, frame 0 segfaults. So what is wrong here? Why the hell would this segfault. I can imagine that location is a bit weird pointer. Doesn't look like a normal pointer. But you never know. Yeah. Cannot access it. Yeah. So that pointer is nonsensical. Where does it come from? Nobody knows. Let's go up. Maybe it was P. And it was up. Maybe it is this. Nope. This implement. There's some nonsense, and there's the nonsense one. Yes. So this looks now like an uninitialized something, an uninitialized vector maybe. But we're still in the middle of standard vector code. Okay, this is the vector. So maybe an uninitialized whatever this is. That seems to point to stack, but maybe the stack is uninitialized. So you do up. I do a push back to. Okay. Oh, you would end up in some uninitialized memory if you use that as an index. It's -1. So we have a vector of vectors, I guess, and then I'm trying to push back to a vector that is at location -1, which is definitely nonsense, aka not initialized or a random memory. Now, why is set index -1? -1 means uninitialized, undefined. I get -1 when it is default constructed. It should have printed this. Set index is, there it is, undefined. So that is the reason. Yep, that is correct. Set index hint is #1, but since we never told it what it was, it's going to be undefined. It's converting something that I never use to the actual set index. Well, since I don't use it, I have not told it which set index to use. So the undefined is actually correct here. You could at most ask, why am I even trying to convert #1, because I don't use it. This is inside initialize shader resources per set index, and it's trying to do all three of them. Which function was that again? Let's have a look at that function. I'm not sure that not having to look up stuff really is very important. Or maybe it's 100x that I'm thinking of. I mean, coders that continuous have to look up stuff, like me these days. Yeah, they are not productive at all. But if you have someone who just knows what he's doing and does the right thing from the beginning, that's fast. If you have someone who doesn't look up anything because they know it, but they have no clue what they were doing, and they just do something and they have no good plan, and they code stuff, and then later they find out that it was wrong and they have to start over, or they have to start kludging it, that's not fast either. I think you would win the most by having a coder who understands exactly the problem, has precisely in his head what the right algorithms are and the right data structure and the whole setup of the program. Just, you know, have everything in your head. Just, yeah, okay, that's how it has to be written. And they are right. And then the only thing that is left is typing, which is really not a lot of time. Typing is never the largest amount of time. But yeah, doing the right thing, so being right from the start, not wasting any time on wrong code, that helps a lot, if you ask me. But having said that, I want to remind you again that my method, in my eyes, to be fast, does not mean that you have to sit down and think about it. You have to start typing. Don't stop typing. Now I just work on what you are certain of. So I don't know how exactly things are going to work, but I'm damn sure that this part is needed. Then you just start coding that part. And yeah, talking about memory, I forgot again what I was doing. It's like my memory goes blank then, and suddenly everything is gone. It's really scary and horrible. Is it this convert that crashed? I think it was. I think it's kind of a good comparison is by doing a rewrite. So this is the first time I work on graphics. It's the first time I work on Vulkan, and I'm probably producing a horrible code, right? Because I have no understanding of Vulkan or graphics. And then with my background or my personality, maybe I'm trying to cover everything because I don't know what I'll need. So it's super powerful and flexible and over-engineered, therefore. So it takes way, way, way too much time to write what I'm writing because I'm supporting things that are probably never needed at all. Now, let's say I continue with this for 10 years, and then by that time I'm a Vulkan expert and I understand graphics. I wrote programs that actually, you know, use everything, shaders, this and that, and maybe I wrote a whole game. And then, well, then too old, but if I was younger, then I would start, say, do a rewrite. Then I know by that time, you know, then I understand Vulkan, I know exactly what is important, I know how things are related, what you need most, what to concentrate on, I know the whole structure, and if then I would write a Vulkan engine, then I would 10 times or maybe even 100 times better than what I do now. So you must maybe recognize that. So if you write something and at some point you just see that it is all shit, you have become an expert, but your code is shit. Then you delete everything and you start over from scratch. What you will do then is much, much more efficient than what you did the first time. Hamza, any advice for youth? Yeah, just start coding. Stop thinking, warm your computer up, open a file and write something. I say that every time. When I started coding when I was 12, and I had no problem with thinking of something. I wrote a program that would print all the prime numbers under 256. I cannot exactly remember what I did after that, but I never had problems with thinking of something. There's always something interesting me, and I wanted to code that. I wrote a few games, like extremely. We're talking about 2 megahertz computer with 84 kilobytes of memory. So most things that I wrote were just text-based, but I wrote a program that played 4 on a row and an Othello. And yeah, it was wonderful. At some point, the computer would play that game and I could play against it, and I would lose. I want to find my convert. Yeah, 1024. So apparently I run over all shader resources, not just the one that I found. And that might be the case because I do this only once, but I'm not sure. Nope. I do this every time. So yeah, maybe I should not run over all of them then. Do I know already at this point which one I'm actually using? I mean, you could just say if set index hint is undefined, then continue. But it feels kind of ugly. I would rather run a loop here over everything that I actually did find, which is m sorted something. Let's say I printed out here. I think m sorted is the one that I'm looking for. Not even sure what that contains. And sorted descriptor set layouts. Sorted descriptor set layouts. Sorted descriptor set layout. Yeah, that's the only sorted that I have. Maybe there's more. So if I find something, I'm just gonna process on. Pre-process one. Okay. So every time something is found, so here it says looking for, looks in the source code. If it is found, then it finds or creates even a declaration context, which is put in declaration contexts, which is actually a reference to something that we have already. Although I have no idea what is being passed here. But theoretically, you would have it in all the declaration contexts in this thing. What is it? Declaration context container. It's an array of declaration context container. That's not likely. Oh, pipeline, yeah. It's a standard set of declaration context pointers. I have one such set per stage, and then I'll add the declaration context to that. Then we run over all the declaration context that we found. And if I can dynamic cast them to a shader resource declaration context, and it was actually changed, then we call generate on it. And then I call push back descriptor set layout binding for everything that we found, because this is using shader resource declaration here. So the only thing that is being added here then in this function are the set index hints of the shader resource declarations, aka the shader resources that we saw in the unpreprocessed shader code. In fact, this function then puts it in the sorted descriptor set layouts thing, which is sorted. So yeah, that thing is filled only with things that we found in the source code, in the shader source. And it stores the descriptor set layout binding object that is being passed here, which is being filled here. Which is not very useful for us. The only thing that I think is useful here is the set index int, which is passed as the first argument. What does happen with that? Set index int is used for and place back set index int. Oh. So it's about these things are created from, yeah, the just set layout. The set layouts are created from the set index ints. So we have them here. But yeah, more or less that seems to only give me the set index ints. The rest is also not really useful. It's more binding stuff. So the only thing that I really have in this vector, for whatever it was, set, is the set index hints that are being found. And I have to go back to that other thing. But where was it? Here. Oh, cool. Now I could run over then the other thing, but then I have only set indexes. And I probably need more than this, just a set index. Or the set index hint anyway. But I'm finding the set index hint here from the key, and the key is gotten from the shader resource. And the shader resource is gotten from whatever I'm running over. So if I'm not using that anywhere else, then that's apparently the only thing that I need. So within this loop anyway. So the shader resource comes from what we're looping over, which is then used to get a key. And it's printed, but not used anymore after that. And then, sorry, the key is only used to get the set index hint and no longer used after that, not in this loop. And the set index hint itself is then used to convert it to a set index and print it, but not used anywhere else. And then apparently the only thing that we do need is the set index, which is then printed, which I don't care about, and here used here. However, we do a pushback. I I do a pushback of a shader resource plus characteristic, which is definitely something that is part of, yeah, this thing is used again. So we are looping over it because we are pushing something back from that. And this information is not in the M sorted whatever it was. I have the feeling that if something is in M sorted, then also I will have called yeah, from to on this set index hint map. Which one it may be. We are here in the pipeline factory. Pipeline factory is characteristic range. Pipeline factory, this one. Convert, 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 convert. Clear, that's good. Filled. Realize pipeline layout. Characteristics set it. Hopefully as a const. Yep. Yeah, so it's being filled here. Set index hint map. Fuck, my mind blacked out again. What was I doing? I was looking at M set index hint map because oh right, I remember. I'm definitely going Alzheimer's way if you ask me. So the call to add from, that's what you want to see or to have, and that happens on layout set index hint, where the layout is gotten from the realized descriptor set layout, which is being passed, I think, yeah, here it's being passed to realize pipeline layout. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the M sorted descriptor set layout. So exactly for the set index hints that are in the unpreprocessed shader code of the set index hints of shader resources that are used in unpreprocessed shaders. We do something because it is passed to realize pipeline layout, and that something is then used to fill the set index hint map. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly one-on-one. So yeah, and I could even look at the code again to see if that's really true. So this function runs over realized set layouts. It means that it runs all that. Make pair, size. add from to is being called on layout, which is exactly those layouts that are, so this is the set layout, these are the set layout elements of that m-sorted something, m-sorted descriptor set layouts, I guess, which do not store anything else than set index hint, and I get that value here and I use it. So if set index hint map did not have an add from to called on a certain thing, then it wasn't used. So if add to from is not called, then what does convert to do? We throw. That's no longer correct then. We have to return an undefined value. Took me a couple of days, but now finally I see the picture. Yeah, I don't even get it. To get what the meaning is of this paragraph, the way it is now. So yeah, I don't know. Get it. Yes, we're running basically over the same things here, so the same thing applies. Yeah. Gotta be kidding me. I'm staring at it. How can this not find it? Oh, I'm an idiot. As usual, an idiot. Like, totally. I was trying to search backwards for, and then suddenly I don't know. Trying to search backwards for this, yeah, and stupid me. What? For space anything? Did I do something wrong here? For space anything shader plus characteristic. Huh, finally. Here's another one, and I don't either have that, whatever. Well, I'm not calling convert, but it's still disconcerting. That's the right word. Or just scary, I guess, that I run over stuff that I might not even be using. And now what? Another fix me? Do we ever find a convert? Do I ever find a convert? There's a convert. Jesus. Yeah. I guess at every loop like this that does call convert, kind of probably should skip. I mean, this is not calling convert, but that's what I mean. Therefore, I'm not skipping anything. Which is kind of weird, isn't it? Like, scary. It's probably incorrect. It's just probably incorrect. And this thing doesn't call convert. I think that's correct. That is the top. Let's try this again. You saw a multi-loop? Oh, you just saw the comment about multi-loop magic. And still we crash. Now that's interesting. The set index is not undefined. But now we get this problem here. That's impossible, isn't it? No, it's not really. It's not really. It is probably the same thing as what I had before. See, this is the descriptor set layout thing. Good. I have to guess that I have to fill this with empty set layouts. Yeah, which was not in this file apparently. But yeah, it's bedtime. No, I should stop earlier. It's midnight then. Should be in bed by that time. I should stop an hour before I really have to be in bed. Okay, theoretically I could be at 1 a.m. in bed. If I would fall asleep immediately. That's not happening. I don't know. Anyway, I think I give up on this for now. Because I'm just guessing, that's not good. I'd hoped that it just would work, but no, it just keeps not working. Keeps crashing, then here, then there. I have to give it more time, otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, okay, thank you for keeping me company, everyone. At the whopping 24 viewers. Does wine help with it? I don't know. I am out of wine. I'll go shopping again tomorrow, and then drink half a bottle of wine before I go to bed. Seems like the correct thing to try. I don't think it will help, by the way. Nah. Okay, good night.